To our next conversation, as calls for adequate security heightens, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, is leaving nothing to chance. General Musa has cautioned against promoting activities of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, and its armed wing, the Eastern Security Network, ESN, through social media. Speaking during a community engagement in Omo, in Anambra East local government area of Anambra State, General Musa stressed that the spread of unverified information not only endangers the region but also poses a threat to national unity and peace. The defense chief stressed that they are after the bad elements and protect law-abiding citizens. Biko, this warning by the Chief of Defense Staff, I mean, why is this warning by the CDS so important at this time?
Yes, because these guys continue to cause so much havoc. They are a threat to the economic well-being of the Southeast. Look at what they do on Mondays. Mondays are the days when the average Igbo trader wants to open his container and set the tone for the rest of the week. But it is that day that you've chosen to not let people go to work. You think that they should stay inside their houses on Mondays. Sometimes you even say, okay, you are imposing curfew. Sometimes you say, okay, for the next few days, also number of days, nobody should come out. How do people feed if they do not work? How do people fend for their families if you deny them of the opportunity to earn a living? So, and the rhetorics that these guys come up with, a lot of our young people who have never seen war in their lives, who do not know, they hear stories of war, but they've never experienced it. It's just like what discussed one of my guys, and I said, look, well, if the end result is imprisonment, so be it. And they said, come on, do you know what you're talking about? Because he has seen prison.
Exactly.
He has seen the four walls of a prison. And he knows what happens in there. There are people who never regain their sanity.
Absolutely.
I know journalists who were detained by the Abacha regime who never regained their sanity. Some of them died shortly after. Some of my own colleagues. So he said, no, you cannot be talking like this because you have not experienced what we have experienced. I was detained for years. I was jailed and detained for years. I mean, I'm imprisoned for years. So I can tell you that, look, it's not what you wish, even for your enemy. You can be unlucky. So these people talk about war. They do not know what war means. It's just like some misguided young people who are calling for military rule the other day. They were in their diapers when the last time we had military rule. Some of them were not even.
Exactly.
They don't even know what they are talking about. You know? Do they know how many of our colleagues were killed by the military regime? I worked in a place where we didn't have peace. We were running from one point to another. And I lost a colleague that I was very close to. Just killed extrajudicially. And I know it could have been me. Because even the story that they were chasing him all over the place, I was the one who anchored it. So when you think of some of these things and you hear people, you know, beating the drums of war, you have to pity them. Just as Jesus Christ said,
my people perish.
Our Father, forgive
them, for they know not.
They know not what they are doing. You know, so this is the situation. The rhetorics on social media being used to poison people's minds, being used to discredit the military and turn the people against the military, turn the people against their country. These are the things that bother the Chief of Defense Staff. He knows how many of his officers and men have been lost in that area. Because when they man checkpoints, they are fair target
is to go
for the
after
ESN and IPOB.
Absolutely.
especially on the days when you have the sit at home. Even police, most times they don't even man checkpoint because they will come for you. So, and he's saying he doesn't want, he wants this rhetorics to not be promoted by you and I, because what it helps those guys to advance their cause. So young people will think, oh, what they are doing is right and all that. Young people will see them as proper freedom fighters and all that. The way some people see Simon Ekpa as a freedom fighter, whereas he's been helping himself to good money, you know.
But for people who post this thing, what do they stand to gain? Is it for attention, for likes? What really is the aim? What do they stand to gain?
It's not for attention. It's not for likes. It's not for reaction. It's for a purpose. And that's why I commend the Chief of Defense Staff. We've said things like that severally here, you know, because it's not really helping. You need to go on social media and see what is going on there. You know, some just come on social media, they don't really understand the usage, the implication of most posts they put out there. You know, but some, I can say same for some who came with an intention and agenda, and they've been propagating it for a long time. I think it's time, apart from the Chief of Defense Staff, it's time for people from all the regions of this country to stand up and start talking to their people. I know it's difficult, but we have gotten to that level. Well, all of us, we came from villages, we came from communities, we've been in the cities, but we still have a link to these places. We can't delink ourselves. So we are still connected. I think it's high because most of these posts comes from these places, not majorly from the cities. It comes from people outside the country, it comes from people within, and it comes from people within these zones we're talking about. Because it has not helped over the time. Over the time, it has caused immense damage from time till date. So let's take the messenger off. Let's take the Chief of Defense Staff of this issue completely.
Message.
Yes, and look at the message. Has it helped the region, the Southeast region, in any way? No, truly. They may have something they're agitating for. They may have something they want the government to hear. They may have a credible, they want government to listen to them. But the way this whole thing is going about, it's not helping matters. Just like Jesus said, Mondays sit at home. I mean, of 4 days, Mondays define your week.
Exactly.
And you pick it. And then people cooperated. I know at times it's risky to say, let me go against them and open my offices or my businesses on a Monday. But I think it goes beyond the people. At this point, the governors from this area, too, apart from the Chief of Defense that's speaking, the governors of these states should. That's why I commend the governor of Enugu State. He came and he said he's going to put a stop to this madness. Because I see that's madness. Serious madness. Because it has to stop. It has to stop. And he did it. And I'm sure Soludo is trying to do something.
So you think the governors of the Eastern
definitely
region, they are doing enough, or
they are the governors of this, they are doing enough, but they are not doing enough. Now, because talk to this all the time. You must make it a point of duty.
Okay,
Number one, security matters a lot.
This week, you said something that the problem of insecurity in the north can only be solved by the northerners.
Yes.
Now, the problem of insecurity in the south,
and I'm not
in the
first
east,
person to say it.
Yes, but in the east, do you think the southeasterners can solve it themselves?
I think that they come together, they show the same zeal, the same determination, they will solve the problem. Somebody came in to governance in Enugu, determined to defeat the problem of water supply. And we saw the energy that he brought into governance. specifically to address that problem. And today, people can't believe that they are in the same state. That same person said, no, this what was it called?
Monday
Sit at home, I will not have it. I'm not having it. And he has tried his best to put an end to it. Yes, in the hinterland, you see people, have it. Yes, for a while, for some hours, you see them staying indoors, but after some time, they come out. So it's getting better. It's getting better. Really, it's getting better. So if you face a problem frontally with single-mindedness, chances are that you will solve that problem. The will has to be there, the political will. You must have that political will. Otherwise, the problem will remain. It's just like the removal of subsidy. We've seen people talk about it so many times. Before now, oh, it's organized crime. Oh, is this? But nobody had the courage to say, let us put an end to this thing. Because it was benefiting a few. We were subsidizing the luxury of even the already rich. And they were stealing massively from us. Today, that problem is, so it has come with some pains that we cannot deny. But at least somebody found the courage. And you can't also take away the fact that the immediate past president was also minded to not let it extend beyond the halfway into the year, because they actually appropriated money for subsidy with that time ceiling in mind. So it's not a question, it's a decision that both Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Muhammadu Buhari made. Because if they had appropriated money for subsidy for the rest of the year, we won't be, it probably would have been difficult for Asiwaju to take that decision. But they also knew that it didn't have money appropriated for subsidy for the end of the year. So he just said subsidy is gone.
All right, gentlemen, we need to go on this quick break. And when we return, the conversation continues. Don't go anywhere. Still journalists, hang out.